What was that like? Going from having someone, you were nervous to even see this guy walk into his sister's house to now you're playing with him every day and having him teach you the ins and outs of the game. Growing up, I know you had an affinity towards Jacques Plante, but did you have any trading cards or collections as a kid that you cherished quite a bit, maybe that you still have?
Well, I'll tell you, what I cherish the most, really, is when I was a kid, because Plante was a lot older than me, Yeah,
Right.
a lot older than me, but his sister lived in Canada, Montreal. His sister lived next door to us. And I remember once a year, Plante would come in with his big car, convertible, right? Big hat on, a cigar. He would get out of his car and I'd be watching from the kitchen window, scared, watching him walk like a king because he was a king,
Yeah.
to go see his sister next to us. That will always stay with me. It was incredible. Beautiful.
Yeah, because you lived around the corner or in the same neighborhood as his sister. I was curious to know whether you would see him very often. Now, if you knew his sister was coming home and that he may have been joining her, would you make sure to be out there with your pads to let him see what you had to show, or were you a little bit nervous at that point?
I was too scared. All I wanted to see was the magic as he was walking towards the house to see his sister. Would just say, you know what? It's been years and years and years, and when we're talking about this, it's like it happened last week. It's just a beautiful thing. What a great individual.
Amazing.
Yeah,
he was such a legend, such a icon in Montreal. Obviously people remember him for wearing I think he was the first mask, wasn't he?
I don't know if he was the first, but he was iconically, he took the puck to the face and then has that famous shot of him with the mask afterwards. Now, I was going to get into this a little bit later, but because we brought up the mask, I actually kind of want to take this on a little bit of a journey here. Bernie, you went from idolizing Jacques when you were a child to essentially having him be one of your mentors when you played with him on the Toronto Maple Leafs, correct? He was, I believe, 42 at that time, and you learned quite a bit from him. And then later in your career, apparently, he helped you get back on your game after your Stanley Cup wins by telling you to be more aggressive, be more the stand-up goalie that you were.
I watch him practice. I watch him play. The guy was just the man, not the guy. The man was just incredible. And finally, one day I asked him, I said, "Can you teach me?" He said, "Sure." And this is when my career changed, turned around. And I shared this, it's a good question. And I shared this with people because when something doesn't happen in life, most people get down, and disappointed or whatever. My philosophy is always, if it doesn't happen, it's because there's something better coming along.
Okay, that's fair. I like that.
It's a beautiful way to live. And I learned, and I'll just touch a specific thing here that I learned from him. And I worked with a defenseman in Philly, that when the players would come down one-on-one of the defenseman would always play the man, not the puck, but the man. So if it was a right-hand shot, I knew that the shot would be going on my glove side because that's where the opening was. And if it's a left-hand shot, I knew the shot would go towards my stick side because that's where the opening was. So those are little tricks that I learned from him, which was just incredible.
Just as a veteran. Now, I want to pull on this thread a little bit more because we're jumping ahead a little bit, but your career was cut short when you had an eye injury as a result of a stick going through your mask. And after that point in time, there was a large-scale shift from the fiberglass masks to the helmet and cage masks that goalies now wear. Has anyone ever pointed out to you the irony of the fact that Jacques, who was your hero and then your mentor, both of you are known for an iconic shift in face mask coverings as they're used in the NHL? Obviously, he has the famous image of him with the mask after he got hit. Masks started to change after you had your eye injury. Have you ever thought about that? Has that ever been brought up to you, how similar those two stories are?
Well, remember, you play so many years with the mask mold to your face, okay? And you have to remember, when you do this, after a while, that becomes part of your style. And I tried a couple of times with a cage, in practice, and it just wasn't me. I didn't move
Right.
the same way, and it wasn't me. So that's why I went back and stayed with the mask that was mold to my face. It became,
Well-
very, very important.
Thank you so much for watching this clip of the Sign Off, a Frameworth podcast. Just a reminder that we have full episodes of the Sign Off available wherever you get your podcasts, on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. Make sure to like and subscribe on whichever platform you use. You can find us on Twitter at Frameworth Sport or on Instagram at Frameworth Sports. And hey, if you're not sick of me yet, you can find me on Twitter at Retrograde Mikey. Finally, feel free to send us emails with your questions you want us to answer on the show, and we may feature you live. You can do that by sending your emails to signoffpod@frameworth.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you with a new episode every single Thursday.